Want to talk about your interpretation of Batman, how you approach the character?
You know, I was just thinking really. I don't really. I think my approach now has changed. I used to be a lot more concerned with the results. I think the first couple of films, because I was concerned about how Batman would be received. But as time's gone on, I've got a lot more comfortable with it, and I try to just let each film sort of stand alone, and each scene as well. You know, I'm less concerned with, you know, settling on a particular sound. Like, I've just sort of discovered in this film that there's a sort of a third voice that Batman has, which is when he's still in character, but when he's around Damian, you know, and he's a lot more like Bruce Wayne in a Batman cowl than usual, you know. And so that was something just that I discovered through playing the scenes. You know, I don't feel like he would be the gruff, no-nonsense Batman when he's around his son. You know, I think he's unable to cover that up. So that was an interesting discovery. Yeah. And then when he's around Cyborg and Nightwing, he's Batman. He's the badass Batman we know and love. But I think you know, this Damian issue creates a lot of conflict for him. In terms of how he's supposed to be Batman and a father. It's a very difficult situation. He wants him to learn how to become a member of the team, hence he gets sent to the Teen Titans and Starfire to train. But at the same time, he also wants to protect him, you know, and probably would rather he didn't get involved altogether, you know. Yeah, so it's an interesting dilemma for him, and something I'm kind of enjoying about this particular, you know, New 52 storyline. I think it engages with an audience, you know. And you know, when it was first pitched to me, I thought, well, how's that going to work? You know, Batman's a dad, and I am a father myself. Yeah.
I guess being a father myself, how does it bring that perspective to being a Batman who's now had a
You know, I suppose it comes naturally, because, you know, that's my default now. Like, I'm a dad to a 12-year-old son, and sometimes he thinks he knows it all, like Damien does. And yeah, of course, yeah, you want to keep him protected. You want to, you know, slow down his development and let him be a kid for as long as possible, and make mistakes but not have to pay too bad a price that will hurt him in the long run. So, you know, these are all things that parents struggle with every day, and so I think it's a great addition to the Batman character, because I think it makes him a little more relatable, and particularly, you know, to another generation. I mean, Batman's what, 77 years old now or something? I mean, how many generations is that? That's like 4 or 5 generations, you know? So I think it's important that the character keeps evolving, you know, and keeps changing. And I also think there's room in the sandbox for every alternate universe. There's room for this, there's room for Lego Batman, the you know, Zack Snyder, Chris Nolan Batmans, and there's room for us all to coexist, and the audience can just pick and choose, you know, which version of Batman they want to watch today. You know, I get asked this all the time, and my answer always changes, you know. I think I was a fan of the Michael Keaton Batman, you know. I thought he was great. And I think without the Michael Keaton Batman, we wouldn't have been as influenced since, you know. I think it was seminal. I think it corrected the course. It's probably the most impactful change for the character that was necessary for us to have the iterations of it that we have now. Because, you know, up until that point, it was Adam West. I love Adam West. He was amazing, but it was quite camp, and, you know, we needed to figure out what a modern Batman would look like. And certainly, I think that balance also with, you know, ass kicking and levity is really important with Batman. And, you know, he had that deadpan wit that I just loved. I think it's important as well that the darkness doesn't completely overwhelm the character or the story whenever you're dealing with Batman. Yeah, well, I think they went a little too far with the camp. I'm all for camp. I mean, you know, I'm a huge fan of Superman the movie as well. I'm all for camp, but you can't let the camp or the darkness overwhelm in that universe. I don't think, in order to do it completely successfully. But that's just my thought. I mean, it's a dark origin story. You know, if you're true to Batman, he can't suddenly be just, you know, running around in tights and having a blast.
Do you have an opinion on Batman using guns?
Yeah, I love that Batman doesn't use a gun. I think it's fantastic, and it was way ahead of its time.
Because one of the problems with the film now is that you see in the trailer he has a gun, and so that's been giving a lot of critique. So
I haven't seen the film yet, have you?
I have, yeah. I don't want to spoil too much, but in the trailer you see that he's holding pretty much a machine gun. So I wanted to see what your views on Batman using his gun in general.
Well, I mean, look, you could argue that Batmobile has had, you know, guns on it, and the Batwing has had guns on it in the past. I just, you know, he doesn't base his whole philosophy around weapons, or at least around firing weapons. I mean, it's based on the ninja skills that he learned. So, and I also feel that because his parents died from bullets, that was the main reason behind why he wouldn't use them himself. But I think as long as it doesn't become the centerpiece, you know, of how Batman goes about his business, then it's okay. But I'm a big fan of him not using guns ever.
Do you have a favorite, like, Batman tool?
Batman
Tool, like, from his utility belt?
Oh, tool. Good question. Well, particularly in Justice League versus Teen Titans, he relies on that grapple hook a lot because, you know, he's with Superman and Cyborg, who can fly, and the Flash, who can practically fly. So he needs that grapple hook just to keep up with them. So I think it's probably his most useful and most used tool. One more question, I've just been told.
What got you most excited about this film? And when you first got the script, what did you react to the most?
Well, as I said, I really like the Batman Damian stuff. I think in terms of how it works as a film, just taking a step back from Batman for a second, I really like the Trigon-Raven relationship. I think it's really, really cool. Yeah, and there's something iconic about the Trigon villain as well. I think wherever Teen Titans are, Trigon's never far away. And I love that we're dealing with such a, you know, recognized and iconic villain, and you know, he's the one villain I think in this world who can basically turn Justice League against Teen Titans, which is pretty much what happens.
How do you feel about all the superheroes fighting each other this year?
Oh, I think it's good. I mean, listen, when you're dealing with a superhero story, you have to find obstacles for them, you know, and those obstacles have to be as powerful as the superheroes themselves. So unless you're going to fight, you know, aliens or another General Zod, then the enemy should be from within somehow. And the trick is trying to engineer that. You know, that's the hard thing in any story like that, is give a good reason, to motivate why they're suddenly fighting each other. And I think it's quite successful in this film.